Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn, and I am Shawn. I am so excited. 3 weeks in a row now. We're setting a, well, guess what? A new year record, right? Only because the year began January 1st. Now, we have a lot to do today. So there's always so many rock and mineral oriented things that I have done since I got in this at 11 years old that it's easy for me to stray off on tangents and storytelling, because I have some really amazing experiences from going down a mine shaft in Lightning Ridge, and the next evening having a Barbie with all the local miners and whatnot. Just really neat stories. But we have to save most of them for another day. All right, so those of you that have joined since we are on YouTube, welcome. Welcome to a show that has been on the, well, I think we're usually, Miss Gabby knows, right nearing our 4-year anniversary, is it? But prior to that, Raven and I, who's sitting right here, have 9 more years doing the live show upstairs, so to speak, because we, you can tell, different set are on the set where we used to be on, back downstairs. I'm glad a lot of you like it with the dark backdrop and the HD, making those items really pop, as you had said. So today's show, and welcome to March, everybody. Today's show, you know, I was thinking, you never know if I'm going to show an aquamarine or not. But if not, I will have some aquas coming up, being the birthstone for the month of March. See how I just start straying on a tangent? So, welcome to another sale. Yes, another sale. I realized how few items we actually got to last week that I had put incredible sale prices on. But we didn't touch the number that I still want to do. But you know what? I went ahead though and still inventoried a lot of additional new items. So they're going to be mixed in. We're going to have incredible deals on items you may not have seen. Even if you think you've seen every show and every item, seen that, it's amazing how many times you'll look at it, it's like, wow, I don't remember that. But the good thing is, as I filter them back into these sales, the prices are always less than they were, unless I discovered that there was something to them that made them worth a lot more. And all right, so anyway, there's so many comments and things running in my head I want to get to, but let me do this. Let me go ahead and get to the comments. Now, everybody can send comments to me, Shawn at gemshopping.com, or you can also go to the homepage, gemshopping.com, and go down to the bottom of that page and go click on the Learning Center tab, and then it'll take you to all kinds of neat stuff, including 30 additional shows that I am the goldsmith in and the host, while Asif directs and produces the show, and it's really amazing. It's really amazing. I really feel like there's a certificate I should give to those who complete and watch all 30 episodes, because the amount of knowledge you will have gained is immense, and it covers every imaginable project that you would conceivably work with your local goldsmith, including creating custom jewelry. Not only completely handmade pieces, but also pieces made from the lost wax method. And you get to see how it is all done, including alloying. So that's all I'll say about that, because you want to start and just run through them, including how to drill a gemstone, which actually is, I think, the #1 episode for hits, I guess you call it. And that number is well over 100,000 people have gone to that site. That's an incredible number. So, yeah, that's how important that was. Including, oh, the other great story I have to tell you that came out of those episodes was, one of the episodes I did was how to remove a ring from your finger without cutting it and tearing it up. And, you know, that's like, okay, let's say you get a bee sting or something happens to your hand and you're getting ready to have to go to the hospital or the doctor and you have your ring on. The last thing you want to do is, if in any way possible, is to let them remove your ring, because they don't care about your ring. They don't care. Their job is, you know, medical, not anything to do with jewelry. So what they do, they will snip it at the bottom and take 2 pliers and literally rip that shank wide open. If it's an antique ring, they can I've seen pieces absolutely destroyed. So if at all possible, remove it yourself. And so that's why we do this episode on that. And I show you multiple techniques. Well, so a person in Wales, yeah, you know, England, Wales, actually did an internet search for how do you remove whatever he put in there, and what came up was my episode, and he wrote back thanking us very graciously because, and I had never thought about this before, because my techniques worked to remove a pan handle and of course attached pan from his 4-year-old daughter's finger, because you know the little hole at the end of a pan handle that you hang, you know, you can hang a pan up on. It's that little hole. She was playing with the pans, and who as little children or haven't let our children play with pots and pans, she had put her finger in the hole and they could not get it off for anything. And so I thought, wow, what a neat, well, I really felt good about being able to solve that problem. So anyway, just another couple, see what I mean? Stories flow, real, true life events. And boy, do I have them. Okay, so let's get to the comments and the answers to the trivia. And for those of you, if that sounds different, what we do, at the end of every show, we ask 2 trivia questions that, well, it's not always trivia. Sometimes I'll show specimens and you have to tell me which ones you think they are. So we ask 2 questions and then we answer them in the next week's show. So because this show usually posts always on Mondays, and so you watch the show, send in your answer and comments, and then we follow up the following week for the answers. Okay, so the questions were from last week's show were this. Okay, name 2 other minerals besides quartz that are found in Arkansas. Of course, now those of you in the know and our rock and mineral family, most of us do know that Arkansas produces some of the finest quartz in the world. Now, not by way of volume, because certainly Brazil has its probably the world beat there for volume of quartz, but for quality on clear white quartz, there's nothing like the Arkansas material. So what other 2? Well, I had talked about them. I have to go, bucket list, the, what is it, the national, it's a state park, national park, whatever, the diamond mine, I think they call it Crater of Diamonds or something like that. It doesn't matter what they call it. That's why I didn't even need to retain it. There's only one kimberlite diamond pipe in the country, and it's in Arkansas. That's where I want to go. And I think I'd have a really, really, really good opportunity. I just feel it of finding something the very first time I go. Now, some people go and go and go and don't find them, but I know what to look for. Now, the other one, wavellite. Arkansas is known for this really unusual but beautiful mineral called wavellite, and it has world-class specimens come from there. So that's question 1. Question 2 was, how can you tell if a sapphire crystal is from Ceylon? Ceylon, now called, of course, Sri Lanka. And the answer is they're terminated on both ends. In other words, they come to a point on both ends. Miss Gabby has a great question we'll address in a few moments regarding that. Okay, Miss Cindy in Pennsylvania. Nope, sorry about that. but I do want to get to Miss Cindy in Pennsylvania. First, I want to say, hope you had a nice birthday, because it was Miss Cindy that won the, just happened to, and that's the magic of the show. The trivia gift last week, and it happened to be her birthday, and it was some Vesuvian night, so congrats on that. And the other comment I wanted to make, though, Miss Cindy, this week, I think I saw where you tried to send in your answer, but I got a strange box that didn't have any writing in it, but it did show where you tried to send something, so I apologize. I didn't receive your comment or your answer, and I think it was just a snafu, so make sure you send it next week, and if you are ever in doubt, any of you out there, I don't care if you send it twice. No, it's just me and Asif that see the comments. So there's nothing you have to worry about by having to be computer literate. Okay, so here we go. Miss Gabby says, "Greetings, everyone. Happy to see you 2 weeks in a row again, too. LOL. When I first saw the new/old set, I had a flashback and wondered if I had stumbled on an old show. Too funny. Trivia, Wavelite and diamonds and Ceylon sapphires are terminated, more pointed on both ends. Speaking of that, have you ever told us why they form differently there than other locales? Looking forward to seeing some of my ornaments next week. I have attached another pic for summer. I didn't go to Tucson this year, but it managed to come to me. LOL." I'll have to show you the picture of what she sent if I get an opportunity for Summer to create one of her ornaments. And if any of you don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to show one of the ornaments I actually brought, and we'll show you what she does if any of you want an ornament custom made. Because what Miss Gabby did now, besides getting all those ornaments for her Christmas tree randomly that Summer made, Summer being Raven's 22-year-old daughter, who's an amazing artist, so that she created randomly from different mineral specimens. Miss Gabby sent in pictures of her own personal specimens and wanted ornaments custom made to match her particular mineral specimens. So Summer started working on those, and I'll show you one of the ones that that she completed. And so if anybody else, and all Miss Gabby did was send them to Shawn at gemshopping.com, and I create an item number for it. I work with Kevin. The price, very reasonable. I'll tell you when I show you the size, what the price is. And you can have an ornament, or that's just what we're calling them. You can hang them wherever you want in your house. You can put them on a stand, but it's done on yellow pine, and it can be done to match any of your particular specimens that you have, and it has worked out real well. Okay, so now she asked, and I'm not going to skip the question because the question, of course, was very difficult. She asked me like I just automatically know. Let me read this again. Speaking of that, have you ever told us why they form differently there than other locales, in reference to the Ceylon sapphires being terminated on both ends? Did you catch that? She says, speaking of that, have you ever told us why they form differently? Like Miss Gabby just assumes that I know the answer, right? Okay, and that I'm holding back the information, Have you ever told us? That's the way it sounded. I thought it was pretty cute. But that was a real difficult brain stumper of a question. And I'll get to the answer, or my best, because I actually did some research on it, and you probably did as well, and I did not find any written answers as to that, any direct. But I'll have a story to tell you that I think might be part of the reasons. Okay, but we'll get to that in a moment. Miss Peggy in South Carolina, Dear Raven, Professor Shawn, the amazing gem crew, and my favorite rock hounds, have you ever had a chance to visit the Clemson Geology Museum? It is open and free, located in the northwest part of South Carolina near the university and about 2 hours from you. It's such a cool place to see some really museum quality pieces, many found in our area of the world. No, I have not been there, and yes, I love to go to museums and love to support them, especially the smaller ones. The closer one to us used to be called the Weinman Mineral Museum. Now it's called the Tellis Science and Mineral Museum, which is right off I-75 in Cartersville. Oh, it's a stunning, stunning museum. We love to support them. And if you ever get a chance and going down I-75, you can't miss it. You can see it right from I-75, so it's very, very convenient. And consider going to there as well. And I'll certainly consider going to the, I love the university museums like that. They're usually very well, because they're often start with donated collections from alma mater and then build from there. And all they need to do is get a rock hound that donates a chunk of money, and they're off and running. Okay, so she goes on to say, I've read recently that meteorites are soaring in price. Since there is such a certain amount on this planet, jewelers have had great difficulties finding materials to work with. I know in the past you have offered such items. Can you show some more? Yes, I could if I was willing to share the ones I've had. Now, granted, I have sold literally pounds of two particular types of meteorites. The Skeletal meteorite fall from Russia, and that dropped a tremendous tonnage of meteors in 1947. 23 tons. Okay, so that material is still available in the market, very, very reasonable. I buy it by the gram. And of course, as they go up in size, the price does go up logarithmically. Then the other one is Campo del Cielo, meaning field of the sky. That's the big strewn field in Argentina, where the largest single, there was 21 different craters that as it came down at the angle and it broke apart, it left 21 different craters. It was really, modern discovery was in the 1500s by the Spaniards, but it had been known by the indigenous people long before that. It was made of iron, 95% iron usually in the iron meteorites. And the largest piece was 30 tons, 30 tons, so quite a large piece left. You could imagine the fireball that a piece that size would be creating going through the sky, because most of the fireballs that we see, or what we call and think of as shooting stars, those meteors are often no bigger than a silver dollar, and many of them no bigger than a quarter. But they have that bright white light, which I know because when I work with platinum, I reach the temperature of a star, and it's a white light. That's why we have to wear the goggles, and that light can really carry a long way at that wavelength when you reach that level of temperature. So if you're going to get meteorites at a good deal, look for the Campo del Cielo ones or the Skeletal ones, and you should be able to find them still very reasonable. Now, the Muña Lusta ones, I sold those as well. Those are the ones that have the Wittgenstein pattern. That is that octahedron pattern made up of two different type of nickel minerals that what they do is they'll acid etch the surface, and one etches just a little bit more than the other. So you get this raised relief is how you bring out that look. Now you can just polish the surface straight and on really nice pieces bring out that as well. I've had a lot of that material. That's from Sweden. There's not nearly as much of that material, and it sells for a lot more because of the pattern in it. But it is still, for a very neat, cool type of meteorite, affordable. When you get into your stony iron meteorites, those are a more rare type, and they can be a lot more expensive. So, no, some meteors meteorites have gone up and are expensive. The Pallasites, I sold a museum quality Pallasite right here in this show during this podcast a few years back. And a Pallasite that's where when they talk about peridot being the stone from space, well, yes and no. They also call moldavite the stone from space. Well, moldavite is a tektite. It originates here on the Earth. The material ejected right to the outer atmosphere, but not so far that it's out of the gravitational pull of Earth, and then it comes back down into the strewn field as a tektite. The Pallasites are a incredible meteor, and then in the Earth meteorite, and mine had beautiful, beautiful nickel composition surrounding peridot color, because it is peridot, olivine, that naturally forms with these, and why they're called Pallasites. But often the Pallasite itself, the color of the olivine is a yellowish brown, tannish color, but never really getting into that beautiful green. It was beautiful green color. Sold it in the show. So I've had ones and may have some others from time to time. I'll see what I have if I have anything left. But again, if you're looking for something a good deal, go with the scopoline or the Campo del Cielo pieces. Okay, now, then she goes on to get the trivia answers correct. And then it says, please take care of yourself and don't miss your doctor's appointment. Find your joy. Mr. Brad in Pittsburgh, PA, getting the answers right on the trivia. And then says, greetings to Raven, Shawn, the gem shopping staff, and the Rock family. The amethyst crystal that you showed to lead off the show, since it was triangular in cross-section, would that qualify as a muso crystal? Okay, we'll answer again. Nice show, by the way. Interesting specimens. Thanks for the opportunities. Okay, a lot of people aren't familiar with that because there's so much we can get into. There's things that I don't always get into. And boy, Brad had a great question, except worded just a little bit differently. Okay, what they refer to as a muso crystal is really a habit. A habit is a particular form of the hexagonal crystal system that quartz forms in. And what the muso habit is the name that they have given to a quartz crystal that when the 6 sides are coming up, remember I told you that amethyst specimen, how it was neat because it graduated? Well, as it graduates, the 6 sides squeeze out 3 of the other sides, and the termination, in other words, the point, ends up to be only 3 sides. Only 3 sides, which is very rare and very unusual. Kevin must have gotten busy because I actually asked him if that specimen, because I wanted to see it, I could not remember whether it was or not. But he said that he was taking it out of inventory, so don't anyone try to purchase it. And I want to look at that a little bit closer because I had actually forgotten to look for that particular rarity in quartz crystals. And it's funny you say that, Mr. Brad, because I looked back and I noticed that you won in one of your last wins in the trivia 2 phantom quartz crystals, and they, I think, were Brandbergs, were Namibian, and this other specimen I featured was as well, and they tend to form, Namibian ones, Brandbergs, tend to form and have, if you're going to have that rare muso habit, they can come from there. So in other words, it could be a good chance that it is there. But anyway, don't anyone try to get it because it's already pulled out of inventory. But I want to do some studying on it, and thank you for bringing it to my attention. That was some knowledge that I had forgotten and want to brush up on that neat little habit. again. So great question. Better yet would have been for you to actually have bought it because I would have turned it in multiple directions and you would have been able to see if it was the Muso habit. And then for what I was offering it for, it was a great opportunity. Let's just say that. As all these other sale price items are going to be today. So let's get to them. Mr. Anthony, you notice anything today, Mr. Anthony? I have a really neat piece that was given to me by our fellow lapidary and silver and goldsmith, Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts, and he created an owl, which is my totem animal. That I could tell you so many great stories about, but that's for another day. And he said it very difficult to set them without breaking. 2 Azurite eyes, which of course, as you know, garnet is my birthstone. So was wearing this for my power pendant today, and I am feeling good for it. So thank you again. Hello all, great sale. Wish I was a little quicker. I did score the Labradorite skulls and the Purpleite parcel. I am addicted to these Purpleite crystals. Smart man. If you got in on the Purpleites and other people pass those up, oh, they do not know what they are missing out by way of value, especially. I have high graded all the Purpleite I scored and cut a cushion cut stone, which at the moment is right about 47 points. It's almost finished. I'll shoot a picture when done. Yes, please do. Cut a few cabs as well from this material. Okay, so if Mr. Anthony, out of that material, was able to cut a 47-point faceted Purpleite, he just paid. Even if it has some inclusions, because most of the material does, he just paid for all the other Purpleite that he bought. And I am jealous if you found a 47-point stone out of that. It just goes to show you that I have not high graded that material. I can't, I don't have time, because it often takes sawing it and breaking it down and looking into it or cutting into it to find out. I can't do that, but I am tickled pinkish orange for you that you did find one. Wow, that is awesome. Besides quartz, Arkansas is known for diamonds and wavellite. Getting the answers right, and on the sapphire as well. Interesting crystal form from the pickle pot. I washed out some that resembled blades like barite blade crystals. Didn't pay much attention at the time, but I'll be more vigilant. Pretty cool. Eyes down. It is really cool. It is really cool. What household items, when you let them sit out and dry, how they will precipitously form crystals. And in nature, that is just replicating nature. It just doing it at room temperature instead of high hydrothermal temperatures that can form completely different and create a lot of the other minerals that we know. Miss Ursula, Shawn, hello, and a pleasant afternoon to you and all your Rock County community. I'll be brief with today's answer since I'm anxious to drive to the post office in order to pick up last week's shipment of the rare pyromorphite specimen. Yes, you got it from the good Hoffnung mine, right? That one? Because I know you're a German-born, I believe, and that, of course, is from Germany. So I like that you collect the German specimens. Miss Penny, of course, is our Greek and Greece expert, and from there, so she collects the Greece specimens. So it's neat to see people collecting their home country specimens, just like me collecting the made in USA stuff. To visit Arkansas has been on my bucket list as well, and maybe this year I'll be able to fulfill my dream of finding my own diamond. LOL, don't laugh, just go find it. I know you will. However, I do not need to worry about the wavellite since Miss Mandy from your sales department secured this item already. All right, we know we got the wavellite now. These are the other minerals you'll be able to find besides large quartz deposits in the fabulous state of Arkansas. You can easily tell if a sapphire comes from Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon, if the crystal is terminated on both ends. So simple. Wishing Miss Cindy from Pennsylvania a happy birthday and hope everyone is enjoying a great week. Be well and stay safe. Great comments. Miss Penny, Miss Penny chimes in. We don't always hear from her, but always enjoy when we do. Hi, Shawn, Raven, Rock Family, and GSN crew. I hope all is well. Trivia, getting all the trivia answers correct. I tried to get the Labradorite skulls. Well, now you know why you couldn't, because I think Mr. Anthony got it. And the aqua crystal, but was too late. I was 0 for 4 today, which is probably just as well. So I can save for a Greek specimen sometime in the future. You know what? When the rest of you, others of you miss out, it is only for the reason that there's something better to come along that then you'll have the money or the justification, if some of us need that, to be able to get the other item. In other words, if even maybe it's a little bit more, you say, well, I didn't buy that one, I couldn't buy those other specimens, this is more, but since I didn't on the other, I can't on this. You know what I mean? That's the way I do it. Yes, Mihalis is now officially 11 years old. You know, I remember when we started, he was turning 8, so yeah. And he wanted my Anna King horse pendant, which he got a resounding no to. I do have to keep something for myself. I think that's so cute, he wanted it, but yes, that piece is for you. It's neat, though, with the mare and the foal, I guess you would call it. So, that's kind of appropriate for the two of you. Was I ever glad to see the sapphire? Oh, yeah. So Penny, whose birthstone is September, sapphire, she did not have a sapphire in collection. So guess what she starts with? She set the bar really high for herself. She started with that incredible, incredible gray-blue sapphire that was completely encased in the sillimanite. That is from that rare and unusual location. And the thing about it is, you know, it would be interesting to take some slices off of that, but then it's also better to be just left alone. Because as the specimen, if you let it sit there by itself, it's one of those, it doesn't look, you know, too exciting. All you have to do is flip it upside down and look, and boom, there is like 2, 3 big blue-gray sapphire crystals that have come together to make this really, really incredible rare piece. So, so she got that for her first one. It is quite impressive and larger than I expected. I can finally start my birthstone collection. That little gemstone knife sure is stunning and feels very cool in the hand. That knife was such a good value. I am so glad that that you are the one that got it. I believe she got the fossilized agatized coral blade with that beautiful natural color banded carnelian handle in the hexagon shape. So an incredible knife. For what an incredible deal. And then, okay, so I will eventually give it to Mihalis, maybe at the end of the school year. Wow, that's awful young to get a gemstone knife. Lucky Mihalis. The Rosacite is quite interesting in my very brief inspection of it. Yes, on the Rosacite, what you want to do, use high magnification and look underneath the selenite, and you can see the very interesting formations of the Rosacite. You'll enjoy it that way, because it's completely covered in the selenite. Just in case somebody would like some snow, come up to Montreal. We've had 2 snow days in 2 weeks, about 10 inches after each snowfall, and tonight, Tuesday, we're getting freezing rain with tons of snow just a little further north, and the temperatures will plummet tomorrow afternoon, and more snow by the end of the week. I'm done with winter. It's time for some nice, hot, muggy days up here, which unfortunately won't happen until July or August. What do you mean? It's one day, July 4th. That's all you get. No, you know what? I would give anything for frigid cold over a hot, muggy Georgia dog day afternoon. And, you know, the older I've gotten, the less, more heat intolerant I've become. And, you know, I can work out in the creek in very cold weather, but I can't in very hot weather. You know, I can always put on more clothes, but you can only take off some, and all kinds of other reasons why I prefer a cooler temperatures. But Georgia's been good to me. Been here. Luckily, I've traveled the world. Luckily, I haven't just stayed in Georgia, but it's home base, and the Georgia mountains, and also being right in the gold belt. That's kind of sweet. Okay, Miss Elisa in Florida. Hello, Rock Family, GSN crew, Professor Shawn, and the lovely Raven. Hope y'all had a great week. I love the sale show with so many beautiful and some unique items, but I'm trying to save up my money for the Axonite when it becomes available. My answers for this week's question are diamond and wavelite found Arkansas, as well as, she had some other opal, zinc, and calcite, I believe. I don't know about the opal, but I'm sure zinc and calcite in some form are found. But since you got the answers right at the beginning of it, it counts, I believe. The second question answer is terminated on both ends. Thank you again, everyone, for a great show. I love the new look of the studio, too. Stay safe and have a great week. You know, if you really like, Mr. Lisa, that axonite that much, then, because I was looking at it again, I can't wait to actually complete it. I want to complete it. And so I'll see if I can't work it out so where you get a shot at maybe getting it first if the you know, money and all works out. So I just give those who want something that bad a chance, because there won't be another one. I do have some other rough, so I can't totally say there won't be another axonite, but it may be a while. I wouldn't know what shape. I love the long pear shape and the plechoism that's going to create. Okay, so there we go on the. So now we have, let me make sure I covered all this. All right, so we had lots of correct answers. When we do that, we assign numbers to everybody, put the numbers in a hat and draw those numbers. We did that before the show. And the winner is Miss Ursula. Miss Ursula in Florida. Congratulations. Let me show you. Let me show you, Miss Ursula. And I hope you have some neat magnification at home. Let's show you what you won. This is really, really cool, because we were just talking about different courses, and I was showing Raymond, to a lot of people, this might just look like a normal kind of quartz crystal, right? Well, for one thing, look at this, terminated at both ends, okay? So this is unique. Normally, it is attached to some type of matrix or a base or other quartz. This piece terminated at both ends, so it's like a floater. But this is called jacare, is one of the names. It's also called celestial, and it's also called skeletal, so you may want to write those down. It's assigned all three of those names. Now, in Brazil, it is called jacare. I believe that's probably the correct pronunciation. I don't know, in Portuguese, it might be a little bit different, which translates to crocodile. They call it alligator or lizard skin quartz as well. And let me show you as well. Jacare meaning, of course, crocodile. As we go in close on these crystals, this is what it looks like when you have skeletal celestial quartz, all given the same name. And you can see why, and Raven got it right away. She goes, oh, those look like scoots. Scoots being the name that they actually give the, and boy, I thought I was quite impressed that she knew that. That's the name of the scales, so to speak, that are on a alligator or crocodile. And you can see this. And this occurs, it's rare for everything to come together in quartz for it to form a formation like that. And you can see all these little terminations of these crystals growing like that in that little area. So that is really, really, really an excellent example of it, with especially for getting it free. Now you can see other very unique formations in quartz all over this specimen, including irises. Look at internal quartz crystals, external, additional unique formations as well. Look at that. Look at that crystal growth there. So that's the one. Here's the other. This other is really unique too. At first you think, oh, this crystal's broken. Not at all. For one thing, it also has a skeletal and growth, just a much bigger formation of it. But here's what's neat. Right on this other side, this formation, you can see quartz will break in a conchoidal or semi-conchoidal type of fracture. So when you see this, you know that that is actually just natural crystal face, a natural crystal face, which puts it in a very flattened crystal form, which is very unique, very unique. So then you also have additional crystallization up here, and then a lot more fun to go in with magnification. And look at these other miniature crystals. That almost looks like a little calcite there. I'm not quite sure. But look at the wonderful irises in here. This will have, you'll have some fun doing some exploring on. All right, congratulations to you, Miss Ursula. We're going to tuck those away, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I had to show all of you this specimen. It's not for sale. Miss Gabby, she said she didn't make it to Tucson this year, but Tucson came to her. This is another one of the specimens that she wants Summer to paint for her in an ornament, and I don't blame her. This is something I have never, ever seen. This is the most incredible. All of you are going to just be so envious. I am truly, I guess, not only jealous, I'm envious, which is bad, but I am. I can't help it. That is a Paraiba tourmaline crystal, and the bottom part you might think was tourmaline also. No, it is even better. It is Lapidary pseudomorph. We're trying to get actually to achieve the actual color of the Paraiba like the picture, which has a stunning amount, just a little bit more green, perfect coloring. But anyway, this is really closely getting to what it is. This at the bottom, that crystal, is Lapidary. Lapidary, you know, Lapidary is the lithium mica, and it is pseudomorphing over the tourmaline. What a specimen! What a specimen! That is like no other. Okay, now I'm going to show you what we mean if you haven't seen the artwork that Summer does. And this is one of the other pieces that she sent a picture in that she actually has the stone of. And I want to show everybody, you see this line? This was the only specimen that she had that was actually had been touched by man. This is a giant piece of polished turquoise. And the turquoise was polished in a manner that, as it should in a picture, reflected a band of light, which you see here, just like you would see it in looking at it in person. And then we, because I help her on some of the technical aspects, because we don't normally create a polished finish on the crystals, more of a natural look to them if they're shiny. But this one, since it was actually polished, look at that. We actually have an actual shine just on the turquoise piece and not the surrounding wood. So this is, with the little green hints, is a stunning example. Of course, then she signs the back of them and dates them, and then Miss Gabby is using them to hang on her Christmas tree, which is going to be one of the finest Christmas trees there are. Now, she has 3 others done, but if you don't mind, I actually did these. Look how I packaged these up and stapled them. The turquoise one was the only one I didn't staple closed so I could get into it. So I'm not going to open these up because I did such a nice job of securing them until they get to shipping that I'm going to leave them like they are. But just to give anybody an idea, this, I make absolutely no money on. She gets all the money on it, and it's in this size, which is the larger size. They're only $68. I probably should really go up because of the amount of time she actually has in them. But hey, at her age, she's doing just fine. And so $68. There's a smaller size she makes that is like about that big that comes out to, I think, $48, I think, each. So if you have something that you want done, feel free to call in and have a work order created, and we can get an estimate or however way you want to work it. Send a picture to me at Shawn@gemshopping.com, and we can go from there as well. All right, so just wanted to show you what we're talking about when we're talking about painted ornaments. Now, let me show you something that might as well be an amazing ornament as well. It is item 1048522. 1048522. I have something crazy, crazy cool. Look at this. Look at this. Now, this is, as so many of you know, right? You see this, you recognize it as those rubies that are in the Tanzanian zoisite, right? See the green zoisite? Now, this is from, of course, the Arusha area. Now, many things have happened over time. For one thing, the misidentification of the dark mineral in these specimens, for one thing, has been said to be Shermacite, which is a type of hornblende, right? Well, in the last 2 decades, I will say, they have determined that that is incorrect. Now, it is very similar. A lot of minerals are very similar to each other, but it is actually Pargasite. It is actually Pargasite. So all those specimens that I've always told you all about Shermacite, forget everything you learned, because the actuality of it is occasionally there can be some hornblende in them, but the majority of these, what you are seeing in the black mineral is Pargasite. Now, we know Pargasite. I've sold Pargasite to you. It's that incredible green material with the marble and sometimes with the spinel from Luc Yen, Vietnam, or from Pakistan. Very expensive, crystals over 1 inch, very rare. Now, look at how thin, 1.3 millimeters. I actually put this on my saw and sawed this myself. And these are beautiful. Now, there's the zoisite that you're familiar with as the green variety of it, which is a chromium zoisite. So if you ever wondered, really the designation of the zoisite versus what you know of as tanzanite, being the purple zoisite, is the difference of chromium. So it is chromium creating the green version of the zoisite that you're seeing there versus tanzanite, which of course you know is the purplish blue variety of zoisite. Now let me show you what will explain it all to you about the fact of it being Pargasite. And this is what convinced me that yes, indeed, it is Pargasite. Now remember Pargasite, that beautiful color green? Well, to all of our eyes, this is black. This is about as dark as, look at the background. It matches the background, right? Well, if Dave will do his cutting off of his lights, here we go. We're going to start off with the ruby, okay? Let me show you what we're really looking at. It is not black. Look at that. Now that convinces me, yes, it is Pargasite. There is green to that. And a stunning, stunning green. Now as we come in close on that green, you can actually see the crystals. You can actually see, even cut at 1.3 millimeters thick, you can see the crystals. Some are aligned from the end, some are diagonal like that one. It's almost looking at it like with an electron microscope. It is so fascinating and intriguing to look at it in a whole nother light like this. Get it? A whole nother light. Pun intended. And then we come down to, of course, the ruby, but that still isn't where the excitement lies. If you look carefully, you're going to find little blue crystals that are most likely kyanite. Doubtful that they're sapphire. There's also this clear area of silica. Thank you, sir. But wow. Oh, there we go. There's the blue streak I wanted to show you right there. I knew there was some blue right in there. But boy, it would be difficult to convince you that that was that stunning color green by just looking at it like that, right? It certainly would me. Now, let me tell you the price on this. For one, it's only $44. I only have the one. And it is called, because here's the thing. This material's been around. It's never really been given a name. Because if you did just name it for what it is, the mineralogist joked, well, what would you call it? You would call it ruby, Pargasite, zoisite. That's what they said. Yeah, ruby, Pargasite, zoisite. And of course, that's a mouthful. So the Maasai have come up with a name for it because it is their tribal lands that this material is found on. And it is found near Arusha and the Tanzanite mines even. The name that it actually goes by is a neolite. And as you can see, it's spelled in the graphics. Now, it's kind of funny because when I first saw that, I thought, well, is someone making a joke because there's so many different meanings in it? Is someone saying that it's just eneolite? In other words, you know, we always joke about adding an "ite" to anything creates a mineral name out of it. So when this southern boy read it, I read it as, oh, it's eneolite, like eneolite mineral. And that could be read that way. I never really did see a correct pronunciation, so don't know where to put the accent on it. I'm going to go with the non-good old boy pronunciation of it, which would be a neolite. And that actually has an informational meaning than what this, this southern rockhound wanted to attribute to it. It means green in the Maasai tribal language. So green, which when you find the material as a whole, that's usually mostly what you see is the green zoisite. What makes this piece so special that it has the intense black Pargasite and very little actual zoisite, and it has this green, clear, what I believe to be silica area up there. Very unusual. If you want me to drill it so you can hang it, feel free just to have a work order created by the sales rep, and you'll have the only one of its kind. And you can have, and basically add a new mineral to your collection because it's enneal. And so enneal is the Maasai word for green, and so they gave it the name enneolite. Amphiboles, which it belongs to the family of amphiboles, were mislabeled, found in that area for a long, long time. So there's a lot of specimens in collections that have the wrong description. Some even as alumino schermikite, when the reality, of course, we know now it is Pargasite. So just a little additional information there, and a really, really cool specimen for not a lot of money. Now let me show you something stunning. This is item number 1049422. And wow, just look at that for a moment while I tuck away some items here and show Raven the little special pocket I made for that piece. Okay, now this piece is one of the most, I have world class on there because it actually really is. Now, the only thing it's really lacking is size. As we look at this, the aesthetics of it is really phenomenal because the multi-direction of these crystals and the unusualness of some will show us that. Now, as we look through and come in on this, when you start looking at these crystals, you're not sure what you're seeing when you look through them because the optics of them and of the faces can really, really throw you off. And the beautiful, beautiful crystal clarity. And now I'm also looking for muso habit in some of these, which I'm not seeing straight away, but I'm going to be looking for more of that. Now, look at these. These are all not, they're not chipped. They're in excellent, excellent condition. Look at these terminations. Look at how the iris is coming out of them. The shape of these crystals. Let me get my pointer. That's better than using my fingers. And then as we go down into it, you can see excellent camera work. That they just continue these very well-defined crystal points. And look at the irises are almost in every angle that you turn it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these crystals in there. Now, it almost looks like, are they inside this crystal? Are they being reflected from the back side? Where is that coming from? Is it being reflected from in front? I don't see. Actually, where are they coming from? If they're all internal, I want it back. I am dead serious. Wow, look at these irises. This is why when I got to look at this, I said, look at this, look at that. Look at that iris. I said, this is world class. I said, if I'm looking at a little piece of quartz this long, there's a reason. Wow. Okay. I don't know. We don't have time to figure that out. That's an optical, wow. Yeah, that's an optical wow indeed. Okay. Now, as Dave has to go through all these different focal planes, look at that. See, that's what I mean. That's why this got, how many times have you ever seen me put world class on something like this? Never. This got a world class because it had one interesting aspect after another. That's probably, yeah, my DNA. The bottom is even interesting. Let me show you. Look at that. Look at the bottom. And yeah, that's kind of what the glue that holds all these pieces together. Golly, look at that. Look at that. You couldn't ask for a better rainbow of wow, you simply couldn't, of a prism. And as we come a little further out, then you can really see the extras. Like, look at this. I'm not sure whether that crystal is, yeah, on the exterior. Yeah, it's right in between. I'm going to leave it to the rest of whoever's lucky to get this piece, because this is one that you're going to enjoy taking a lot of time exploring it. Look at that. Look at that. That's one of the finest pieces of Arkansas quartz I have ever seen. Price on this guy is a remarkable opportunity. $28. I know, $28. So that is one of a kind for that kind of opportunity and deal for certain. Okay, now, this is, remember, a show that we are going to be doing sale items, but of course those items that you have seen so far, I don't think you have seen so far. We've got some other treasures as well, but we're going to throw in some sale items along the way to keep you amused in every which way. This next item is item 102. 7721. 1027721. Oh, one of my favorite stones. One of my favorite copper carbonates. Look at this. Look at this. And then look at this. And then what we have back here as well. It looks like a little bit of azurite. And as we come in closer on this, some of these crystals of malachite look like they could be emeralds. I mean, look at it. that is just a really high quality, small, but really gemmy looking for malachite. All over. And I already see limonite, of course. There, no doubt, is additional mineralization here. Look at these blades. Look at those blades right there. That is truly malachite crystals. Those are actual malachite crystals. And in this form, a lot of times to see malachite crystals, they'll be in the form of like fibrous malachite, not so much as individual crystals. So to get something like this really can show off the individuality of malachite when you do get a chance to have a piece that all the things have come together just right. And let me try something to be able to see. There we go. Dave does such a good job when I try to do crazy things like this, which in this show we can. Look at that. This is a 30 power magnification lens, just so you know, in case your 10 power loop doesn't quite do this. And it takes a lot of other skills like me holding my hand steady and Dave. Look at that. This is why it's so important to get something with some magnification, because a lot of minerals can be enjoyed on a whole nother level when you can, look at that, see what I mean? When you can come in close. And we won't use it, but I have another lens that's actually 60 power that I use, and it's like a microscope. Look at all those little crystals going. Oh my, look at that. Back in the top, right in the middle now. Wow, stunning, huh? All right. Oh, look at the azurite over there. Oh, how beautiful that is. Okay, so anyway, this is sale price time. I can just look at these and go ooh la la over and over and over, even though, this is something I've been doing for 50 years. I never get tired of it. Price on this guy, how would you like that? With all that ooh la la for $15. Now you definitely know that the sale is on. $15. Here's something I can't believe. I can't believe that no one wanted item number, ready, set, item number 1040321. 1040321. This is something that I know would add another mineral to many of yours collections. Look at that. Purpleite. It's got an old label. It has the mine, the White Elephant Mine, south of Custer, South Dakota. Item number 1040321. And there we go. It is from my own collection and in an old estate box. And of course the purpleite, the purple minerals. Look at this, look at that. I see a reflection bouncing off of that. So that's probably some other goodie. And what you do, you just do some research and find out what other minerals, since you know the mine, what other minerals were found at that mine. It looks like there's some ore minerals there. It could be galena. Do a little research on that, and you can learn so much more. If nothing else, just add purpleite to your collection, and it is from the Made in the USA collection, South Dakota. How many things that do you have from South Dakota? That's another thing. It may add another state for a mineral of origin coming from there, which I also like to do, was to collect mineral specimens from every state that there was. And this one certainly could cover South Dakota well. All right, price on it, ready? The sale price, big markdown from what it should be. And my markdown price doesn't mean that what I asked for the first time was too much. No, it's just that you just didn't realize the bargain it was. And now it's beyond the bargain, $28. $28 for that. And if I told you the percent that I just discounted it, man, you should be all over. Okay, how about this? How about this? This is one of those give you a chance. 102-6421, 102-6421, because there's not going to be too many of these left when I'm done selling off what I'm willing to sell off of these rarities, and from those batches I got a number of years ago. The Sphene, how many more Sphenes do you ever see me show? Exactly. I'm showing a little bit of Purpleite that I have to offer, but that's not going to be a lot that I'm going to be willing to part with. Now that I know that Mr. Anthony cut a 47-point stone out of that Purpleite, faceted. I'm going to be looking. No, I'll be offering a little more Purpleite, especially if Anthony wants a batch of it. You know, obviously he already knows I'm not high grading it. Anyway, red zircon. Look at that. Look at that. And biotite mica, which is the dark mica. Beautiful specimen to add to your collection, especially for something as neat and unusual as zircon. And in that color tone, oh, the neat thing about that, the fluorescence. The fluorescence. It's amazing how something like that can just totally change color. An incredible yellow. Yeah, so, oh, by the way, let me put this label back with the purpurite. Purpurite's a manganese phosphate, and the word is derived from the Latin word purpura for its color. And purpura, we can kind of figure out, had something to do with purple. So now I know where the color purple got its original name from. Learn something all the time. Okay, so that, to be able to get in on that specimen of red zircon, if you try to go to a show and even find one, good luck to find one even. And if they had them, they wouldn't or shouldn't be parting with them. They really shouldn't. I shouldn't be, but it's because of y'all. $28. $28. Incredible sale opportunity right there. Now, I have, I want to mark that emerald, Crabtree Mine emerald specimen down, but then I'm just kind of not. I don't know. Here's something fun. Item 924619. 924619. And this is a batch of, well, I should make you figure it out, but you see what it is up there? Clear white Brazilian topaz. And here is how you tell topaz. Now, I don't know if George ever got back to me on that batch he got that he was supposed to tell me how many, which he still could, how many of the pieces were quartz and how many of them were topaz. Here's one of the easiest ways you can do it. It's because topaz has such perfect cleavage, look at this, that it will split and leave a, look at that, perfectly equal thickness to its cleavage plane. Look at that, boom. And watch, here's another piece. Look at that, same thing. Same thing. Look at the clarity to that. That would facet definitely a nice clean stone. Or you could shape it for a state. That can't be too far from a particular state. Here's another piece. And now, even though you might want to think because of this one that it would be a quartz, but the other way, remember, quartz is a hardness of 7 on the Mohs scale, and topaz is what they use for the hardness of 8. That's the easiest way for George to be able to tell the difference as to what is what. If one scratches the other, or if they both scratch each other, then you know they're the same thing, and in that case would be topaz. And then this, doesn't that look like some of the diamond crystals they find? I mean, it really, they do. They come up and the diamond crystals are kind of like that only because they've been broken from even larger ones. So anyway, here's a 5-stone special, 300 and, is there 5 stones there? Or if not, I'll tell you what, here's the deal. Let's do this. Let's just change it to 4 stones in the description. 4 stones, and I'm gonna make it $9 there. $9. And at that price, I'm sure you won't complain no matter whether there's 4 or 5 stones. There may not be 310 carats, so we can just leave off the carat amount. This is a sale, and for a sale, then we're gonna move it like it is. If I have to take it back home and redo it and all that, it's not going to be that inexpensive. All right, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. You're going to love what is coming up next. This is item 1048622. Okay, give me a moment. Let me clean this up, and we'll be right back with it. If you missed out on last week's opal parcel, I told you I was going to bring in some more, and I am following through on that. Let's go through these 12 pieces real quick. There's actually like 105 carats here, but I just want to make sure that this is Australian opal. This isn't hydrophane Ethiopian material. This, how it looks now, is how it's going to, except last week there was that rare piece of Australian hydrophane that was really neat, how I showed you the before and after on that white cap material. All right, let's look at these 12 pieces. This is from my personal collection. Now, I can tell you, this material is decades old. In other words, if opal was ever going to craze, it will have crazed long ago. And I kept it dry this whole time. Only showing it to you wet so you can see what it's all about. I love looking at opal. It's my favorite stone. It's my son's birthstone. It's my mom's birthstone. Okay, let's look at this first piece. You can see it is lightning ridge material, by the way. And so this is at least, well, I'll show you something else after a bit that's lightning ridge. But this particular piece, lightning ridge, look at the pinfire. Look at the pinfire on that. And then as we look at this, look at the pinfire through the entire piece. Now, this kind of opal can make fantastic doublets, or if you can cut it right, look at that. Look at those seams of color. You can really develop some fantastic color from these. Look at the reds down in there. But then some of these also, though, that color's brought out really well by backing them and creating doublets. This would create a couple of doublets. All right, that's just piece number 1, and that's, let's keep going through this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Now, that would cut a really fine opal, a really fine gem. And I don't know why I'm even offering these for sale anymore, but it's only because I can't cut everything that I have, right? Look at this, look at that. Look at how wide that color bar is actually going across that way. Look at that. You know, red chasers is what I call them. I would have people, I would sell them some opal, okay? And the opal might have a little bit of red or a little bit of red. They'd bring back after they cut it and show me what they got. And it would be this tiny little stone with this little fleck of red. I said, what happened to the rest of the stone? Well, I was trying to get the red to show. I called them red chasers. They would cut an entire stone away with beautiful blues and greens all the way, just chasing this little bit of red. You know, because they think red's, of course, the more valuable color. So, you know, it was just bad cutting practices there. Bad cutting practices. Look at that. Look at all the color in that. Oh, man, that would make a really nice high dome cab. Yeah, that's what you would do. And there's no crazing in this material. Wow. This is, I always like the pieces that still have the exterior on them because they're mystery stones. You cut through them and then you get to see the surprise that no one else, including the miner, will have ever seen the opal that was underneath it before. Look at that. I mean, I see color basically in the entire piece of opal. Look at this one. Remember last week's that had that neat piece that would have made a great arrowhead? Here's another one that would actually create an arrowhead if you so desired. Or, wow, look at that. What an amazing doublet it would make. And here's what I mean by underneath there. I can already see some fire underneath there. What is really underneath there to be discovered? Well, I'm sure it's an extension of more of that good stuff. Look at that. There's fire from one side to the other throughout the entire piece. There's no two opals alike that look alike, and that's why it continues and always will be my favorite stone. It's completely unique. You can have two diamonds that look alike, two rubies, two of everything, not opal. Look at that. Look at that. Nice, nice. You know, a piece like this, even though there's some strong color in it, it might be greatly helped by first cutting this and removing all this and trying to see how it cuts as a cabochon. But if it's not doing what you hope for as far as making the color really pop, then switch over and make it into a doublet, because I can see this fire. You flatten this side, put it down onto, you know, I like to use black jade, black spinel, something like so real hard like that, and then come down from this side and until you get the coloring, the darkness that you like in a doublet. And this kind of color will really pop as a doublet, much more so than what you're looking at it now. Ah, look at that. This is what, see how thin that is? That would not make a great cabochon. It's too thin, even though I've seen a lot of them cut like that. But as a doublet, that would be phenomenal. Well, it's kind of pretty, just, just like it is. I mean, that's why it's just unending the joy looking at opal can bring. Look at this. Look at that. That is, and see, none of this has been cut. Have you noticed none of these have already been cut into? These are all natural faces of the material as it was mined. So that's kind of neat, because you're the one that gets to cut into it to find what's there, not someone else that has already done that. So if there's any neat surprises, you're the one that gets to find them. That's a neat, beautiful piece. And again, this, of course, would be the flat side that you finish flat. You put this side down, then come down from the other side to create your doublet, and that'd be mind-blowing with that strength of color as a doublet. It would make it look so much like a black opal that sometimes it's really worth it. Including pieces like this. Pieces like this can, let me show you why. All right, in this direction is where the color really lies. So if this piece, you know, was thicker, this is the direction that the color bar actually ran in. But because you can see the strength of color. As soon as you turn it this way, you don't see all that. But you turn it this way again on the other side, there it all is. So in a case like this, and this is where, of course, it takes years and years of experience to really know what to do with what. This is a piece that would lend itself to making a doublet. But if it was thick enough to get these kind of colors from it in this direction, then of course you would cut it. But it's not, the color's not there. But in this way, that would still be a really strong enough amount of color. That's crystal opal right there. So making it a doublet would really bring out those colors. Here we go. Here's a stunner. Look at the crystalline quality to that piece, and whoa, wow, that looked like a firework that just exploded. Man, this is when I say to myself, why are you even offering? This is opaholic. Opaholic is an actual term that they have used for people like me for decades. And it's, did you see that red just flash back underneath there? And it's what happens when you just have opal and more opal and more opal. You never cut it. You love looking at it, and you just keep getting more and more opal. And that's my case. So I'm willing to part with some of this, and a good bit of it. Look at how many pieces you can work with here. Or, let me tell you, if I haven't told this story, look at the quality of that piece. Haven't told this story in a while. It's a true story. There's this gentleman that, look at the color and that. There was this gentleman that came into my jewelry store, my second jewelry store, and he said that he wanted to create a little display on his bureau. You know, his, I would normally say dresser drawers, you know, but fancy people would call it a bureau, I guess, or something like that. And so he wanted to, he had this idea in mind, and he wanted to buy these stones. Some were tumbled that he had this design in mind. They sat on kind of similar like a round velvet item like this. But in the middle of it, he had this concept of having some polished opals. So I'm thinking of, okay, you know, what's your budget here? You're going to spend, you know, what, $100 for some white opal? And so when I started pulling out some of the cheap opal, he kind of looked at me, and I realized that I was actually insulting the guy. I mean, he didn't have to say it. So I took it to the next level. I didn't get much better of a smirk. And then he just came out and said, he goes, I have a $10,000 budget. My mouth just dropped, and I pulled out the good stuff. He bought $10,000 worth of opals to sit on his bureau, just so when he got into his sock and underwear drawer, he could enjoy them and look at them and see them. And that's what he was going to do with them. And of course, I had nothing bad to say. I thought it was a great idea. It didn't matter. I was selling opal. I had someone that with a passion for opal that really wanted the opal, and I had never thought of that, you know. He didn't want jewelry made from it. And I say that all the time. These pieces are Mother Nature's objects of art. And you can, if you don't use them as jewelry, put them in a stand, or just put them in a display, put them on a glass shelf, and put some other display items around them, and use them for exactly what we enjoy them for the natural aspect of them. And I'll never forget that, and I'll always respect that. And the green in the story about, that's for another day, about the lady that, wanted to buy the greening that she pointed to in the showcase. Yeah, that humbled me. But anyway, yeah, this parcel, you don't have to spend $10,000 for. This parcel, how about only 100 carats? My goodness. One stone, if you cut it out of here, you'll get the money's worth. $128. $128 is, that's it, that's all. Now, I have another parcel. I have another parcel to show you. And this is item number 1048722. 1048722. And it's, and I said, you know, compared to last week, each of these parcels have gotten a little, the size of the stones on average, a little bit smaller. These were 100 carats in 12 stones. Last week, it was 100 carats in 6 stones. And now this batch, you can see, is 75 carats in 20 stones. So we'll go through these real quick. All of these are fun. All of these are cuttable. All of these, oh man, if you love opal, all of these are just take my breath away. Just every one of them. Look at that. I mean, some of these, you might as well, like that one, just cut that in a little bit, trim this down. Why not make it an arrow? Well, maybe not. I didn't see this side. You know, that would still lend itself to an arrowhead if you wanted to make one, or a really nice cabochon. Oh man, I know why I have hung on to all these, and I don't. Look at that purple fire. This is another one that would make a stunning, stunning, stunning doublet. You know, no one said that they bought that opal parcel last week in the comments, so I wonder if anybody did. If nobody did, then you really missed out on the deal, because compared to pricing of opal these days and how look at that piece. That, again, in as thin as this is, that's the best thing you can do with that, because the doublet that would make would be mind-boggling in its brilliance. Wow. Of course, remember, best side down. That's the side you want to put down, and then you come and flatten it from the other side. Look at this. Look at that little thin piece, but a fireball. Look at that. I mean, they go on and on. If you wanted to sit and cut cabs out of every single one of these, you could not go wrong. That would be a great doublet piece. Look at that one. Look at the colors, and look, the skin hasn't even been removed on it. No telling what's inside of that. No, you know what? That actually has, when the curvature like that, you gotta watch it. Some of them could be actually shells, remember. That looked like a lightning ridge piece. So look at the beauty in that one. And another one of those kind. Excellent for doublets. Can I say, look at that. Look at that. Opal, silicon dioxide, same thing as quartz. It just, because of there's no, it's amorphous, there's no crystalline habit to it, so it is not as hard. It's softer than quartz. Look at these pieces. You could have a lot of fun for a long time as a cutter. And guess what? Don't be afraid to even tumble something like these. Don't be afraid to even tumble them. Just do a quick medium tumble and go to polish, just to knock off some of the edges and soften them up a little bit, and then polish them. And that's all you have to do. You're not going to lose much weight, but you can bring out a lot of the beauty and remove a lot of the sand-looking areas of these pieces like this. Some of the yellow. Look at that. That, again, would make a outrageous doublet. All right, we're getting to the end of these because I wanted to look at everyone. I said, oh, I can't wait to look at these on camera. Oh, I mean, if they were bigger, it'd be thousands per carat kind of thing. All right, so here you go. That's the only other parcel I'm going to be offering, I think, of this opal opportunity. Sale price, nevertheless, on this batch, we have 75 carats. And how would you like to get in on 75 carats? Look at that material just sitting there. You know, and I have no idea how to even price. I haven't even priced it. Gone in the market to even buy any of this. All this is so old. I really don't even know. But I do know this. If I said that this parcel was only, well, $77, is that inexpensive enough? I would think so. Hope so. Now, another opal item, but not rough opal. Item number 1049322. 1049322. And this is something I haven't really showed or offered before. It's kind of whimsical. I tell you what, our little Mahalis might be interested in it. Check these out. Opal skulls. Opal skulls. Lightning Ridge too. All of them Lightning Ridge material. Look at that. You can see wonderful Lightning Ridge there, the full skull. You can see the different angles these were carved. And some of them a little bit primitive, some of them, you know, not the high grade stuff, but the price is going to reflect the value. Look at that. That looks almost like an alien. How fun is that? And let's see, this one, did we show? Get to all of them. That's kind of creepy, missing a couple teeth, I think. Okay, so there we go, 4 opal skulls. Price for all 4, you're gonna love this, $38. $38. Yep, that's it. Item number, let's see, 682917. 682917, and let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here. It says that look at this. It says, oh man, okay, now let me put a little, okay, fossilized opal. We were just talking about that. I just said you got to watch out for maybe sometimes, I know the other week in that bigger parcel there was a potential fossilized, opalized piece. All right, let's look at what we have. Belemnites. Now, belemnites are like orthocerises. They are a type of orthocerises being looking like a squid. They're the long cylindrical fossils that you saw in that fossil jar. You'll usually see the guniotites and an orthoceras. They were an early form, and they of gastropod. And look at that! Look at that! They would often opalize. In other words, they would fossilize, and instead of them becoming agate or another material, they would become opal. Now, when you see these little openings like that, going back in there like that, that is where the body lay. And in this opening were the little tentacles that came out. And that's pretty much all there was to it. And they were called belemnites. This, a lot of them were from Cooper Pedy. Some people, they're so fine a quality, they can't resist cutting them into a cabochon. But I think as a fossil, just phenomenal to look at. Here's another one. Again, you can see the hollow center, and you can, a lot of times this is just clay, and you can just actually clean that out, which is pretty cool to do. You can see how it leaves opal, the opal around it. It only ends shortly back there. But that's where the body of the animal lay. Look at all that silica. If you remove this outside skin on that, it would be a pretty interesting piece you would have. But then I always kind of like to leave things natural looking. Here is, remember the curvature I said to watch for? Kind of a tail sometimes that it could be a shell. And there you go, there's that curvature. Look at that quality of opal. Look at, here's what really gives away, because even modern day clams and whatnot that you see, bivalves, you always see that circular striation of the growth of them it creates. Boy, if you polish that up right there though, that would be a phenomenal look. It's a phenomenal look as a fossilized clam. Imagine Little did that clam know that one day he'd be being stared at on TV. Look at the inside of that. That's a really great piece in a lot of different ways. And then I have one other item that is a fossil as well. It just doesn't have, it's the whole shell, it just doesn't have, you can see it's a clam, and it's opal. There's opal on the top and bottom, and here is, you can see it, there's the bivalve part of it. And I wish it had a lot of fire, but then it wouldn't be so inexpensive. Okay, so here is the complete collection of the fossilized opal. You have the yellow clam and the 3 other pieces. This is such a crazy, crazy opportunity. You know, this one piece is going to be worth what I am offering the entire lot for. I mean, look at that. Look at this. Only $42. $42 for everything you see. Yep. Okay, let me clean up my little opal mess, and we'll be right back. Okay, this is going to be one of your last chances. Only 3 parcels of these left if you have not gotten in on... Okay, imagine there's 25 points total weight, okay? And to get to that 25 points, there's 65 to 70 stones. So what does it make each of these little crystals? Well, a lot smaller than the way they're looking right now in this 30 power magnifier. So you are looking at stones that are roughly, well, you know, if you say 70 stones to make up 25 points, they're a third of a point each or so. All right, what I want to show you is, now these have been treated just like most all the blue diamonds that, of course, you'll ever see. But what the neat thing is they were treated as the crystals they were found. They were not cut or anything done to them. One of the things I want to show you, look at that crystal. That is a perfect octahedron, just like you see in the bigger forms or in a spinel. Look at that. Look at that. And that is really, really clean. Then you have macles, flat forms as well. And each of these looks different than the other. And it is a lot of fun to go through with magnification and just look at all the shapes that diamonds are found in. Now, let me show you something. As I take this away, what you're actually looking at, look at the gem tube, are those. And imagine how effective the recovery is at the diamond mines. They are able to recover what is equivalent to grains of sand. Grains of sand, except they're diamonds, and of course they're not blue where they might stand out. No, these are going to be, you know, white or champagne color or whatnot, and then treated. Now you can see they range in the color from greens to blues, but the really fun thing is the different things you can do with them. You can use these in that silver clay, practicing. They're so inexpensive that press them down in the silver clay, then heat it. You can't really go wrong. You're not going to be destroying something that's, you know, expensive if it doesn't work out. It is a great learning tool. And if it all comes out and works great, well, isn't that neat that you have something you did yourself? You know what? Write your initials, 2 initials in these rough diamond crystals pressed down in that silver clay. See if you can't do something out of the box. because you know what? You've never had the opportunity to work with something that can take high temperatures of heat without, destroying the material. Believe me, diamonds can take it. They can take the heat. There's going to be ones in here that you're going to want to keep just due to their unique shapes when you really get to looking at them close. So I only have 3. That's one of them. Here's another just to show you that they all came from the same batch. They all look basically the same. And I kept 1 parcel for myself, and here are the only other 3 that I have. So 25-point total weight, 3 lucky people, and you know what? If nothing else, get a parcel, keep it to give away as kind of a fun stocking stuffer to a fellow rock hound, or if someone wants, oh, I've always wanted a blue diamond, well, you can have your first and last date with some beautiful lady by telling her you got her a blue diamond since she was so special. And then, you package it up, you put it in one of these gem tubes, and I'm talking about just one, and you make a big deal of it, and then you get to watch her total disappointment, and then you get the fish slapped upside your head, and you run out the door, never to be seen again. That reminds me of a story, true story, of a guy that thought it was a good idea to give his wife the 3-carat diamond she had always wanted. And he made and built up this big deal leading up to their anniversary. And I kid you not, this guy was the fool of all fools. And he made it like it was, nice, big, fancy, out to dinner, building up the fact that she was going to get this great gift. And he went and got 3 of the tiniest little baby carats that he could find. And he created this ring with the ability with those carats to stay on, and he gave her a 3-carat ring, except they were, of course, the edible baby carats, and she simply, absolutely, rightfully so, found no humor in what he thought was just a really, really funny joke. And needless to say, of course, he didn't have a real 3-carat diamond behind it to save that moment. No. I think they were divorced within a year. I'm serious. I could tell you another story when it comes to that, but I'll leave that out for now. All right, here you go. These are the kind of stories I could tell you about. From having 2 jewelry stores, all the things I could tell you. Wow, yeah. Okay, here you go. How would you like a 1/4 carat of real blue diamonds, incredible crystals, for $19 each? $19 each. You gotta have a parcel of them just to have them, when it comes to something that inexpensive. Why not? All right, item number 1005421. 1005421. And now this is, this is quartz that the miners used to think very little of. But designers started using it, and then, it became real popular. Years ago, I sold so much of this right here at Gem Shopping. Lots of this material. As quick as I could put it up, we were selling it. look at the way, okay, this is chlorite. And chlorite is found, which is found in many different colors. And when, it often looks like a coral, like an underwater scene. And I love it when there's green and the mixed colors. That's one piece. Look at that. Look at how beautiful it is. Reflected back, and look at the reflections of the crystallized chlorite. I mean, you look at it like this, and you know, it may not look like a lot from the back. Look at that, you can actually see the face of the crystal, original face of the crystal. But looking at it from this way, wow, what a world. What a world. 2 pieces. Sale price. You know, I know Anthony's thinking, geez, you know, the amount of time it would take me to cut a piece of rough like that in quartz. Both of these, 52 carats total weight. And this material often sells for $3 to $5 a carat. So you can use that for a base price. Here you go. Price for both 52 carats. Let's make it, why not? $26. That's 50 cents a carat. $26. Let's look at the next item, which is one of my favorites. Item 1049222. You know why? It is the state of Georgia. It's our state mineral. And so many of you are going to be familiar with it. What is our state mineral there, Mr. Dave? Do you know? You should know. Okay, what's that? See that? Look at that. You've seen those, you know. Fannin County, Georgia. World renowned for fairy crosses. Look at that. Staurolite. As a matter of fact, right in Cherokee County. Ball ground, the city of Ball Ground, not 10 minutes from us. There's a gentleman there, since passed away. He has multiple claims in Cherokee County that he owns, the state owns, that were Staurolite claims, deposits of Staurolite. Now, Staurolite is a metamorphic silicate mineral. And one of the things that, and this now, see, you thought I was dodging the answer, but I'm not. This goes back to Miss Gabby's question as to how or why do Ceylon sapphires have a twinned formation in the crystal system. In other words, they are terminated at both ends. Well, I didn't really have an answer, but my closest answer is going to have to do with what geologists use Staurolite for. They can use Staurolite because at a certain temperature and certain pressure in its metamorphic process of formation will lead to the twinning, the crystal twinning. It's kind of like a temperature gauge, and it will tell them geological moments of formation when they find an area that has the twinning. And that's where I wish I had gone on and gotten my geology degree, because I then could answer really difficult, fancy questions when it comes to these kind of matters. But now, that aside, Staurolite you can find in most of the creeks around here, and many times also as part of metamorphic rock formations. You just have to know what to look for. you can see on the end, look at that, six-sided. Six-sided. And they're called fairy crosses in different countries for different reasons. Now, the fairy cross in North America was, the legend is that the Cherokee, on their march to Oklahoma after gold was discovered in Georgia, the government rounded the Cherokee and the creek up and had a forced march from woodland Indians, woodland Native Americans, to a plains environment. And needless to say, when you're so grounded with Mother Nature as to how to survive, putting someone that lives off the land in a completely different environment would be disastrous. But that wasn't the worst. The worst was the march out there, and hence to this day, it is referred to as the Trail of Tears. And as a matter of fact, where I turn off to go to my home, where I turn off, which is only 1 mile from where I live, there's a historical marker commemorating that path, that road is the original path of the Trail of Tears, which I said that gold was only discovered in Silver City, only 2 miles from that point as the crow flies. So yeah, it was a big staging area, and they say that the fairy crosses are the Native American, the Cherokees' tears that fell while they were being rounded up and forced marched westward. Thousands and thousands died along the way. 3 presidents were said to have carried fairy crosses for good luck. Teddy Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, and Thomas Edison. I guess I should say 2 presidents. 2 presidents and the famous inventor. And the name is of Greek origin. Stauros for cross, and lithos for stone, hence cross stone. Georgia made it its state mineral. It's an iron aluminum silicate, and in the metaphysical world and realm, it will bring calm and lessen anxiety, and it will remove negativity and any fears that you may have in accomplishing a task or moving forward. So it would be a cool thing and an easy thing just to carry in your pocket. And if you wanted it to represent a religious meaning, it was also used for that purpose as well. These go back in different countries, going back thousands of years. They've been found around the world, and everywhere they were found, they have always been referred back to as something mystical and mythical, and left legends behind, and different legends. In Britain, they fell from the sky. In different countries, different lores came about from them. Price on this guy is one of the nicest ones I've seen. Nice, big, chunky, really nicely formed, and right from where they are world famous, and that is Fannin County, Georgia. And I haven't found any in Fannin County, but I found some up in Franklin, North Carolina. I have found some all around the foothills here, where I live. Price on this piece, nice big beautiful piece, only $38 on that. Only $38. It is in very, very good shape, very symmetrical, and very well defined as Staurolite. Only $38 on that one. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. All right, now, what do we have here? Let's look at item number 1037521. 1037521. And wow, look at that. One of my favorite copper minerals. Always. Wow. Look at that band, that line of Azurite. Oh, stunning. You can see, of course, why Azurite and Malachite were both used as pigments and for cosmetics going back thousands of years. Look at this piece. This, don't know even where to start. Looks like there's even some goethite here. I'm sure multiple other minerals as well. Wow. Yeah, there's this piece it's heavy. It's heavy. So there's a lot going on with it. Look at it. It's really aesthetic with the blend of the colors. In this case, I really like the malachite, the coloring of the malachite. I mean, of the azurite on this one comes out really strong. Really strong. My. And another great piece. And displays well on its own. And you're going to love the opportunity on it. Big sale price on this piece. How would you like that guy for only $16? $16 on that. A lot of look for not a lot of money. Now, what have I got next? Ooh, 702017. Now, this is done, this is an Anna King ring, and it is done by this incredible, yes sir, carver that she has. This is item number 702017. And what he does is he takes, in this case, it was a buffalo nickel, and then carves out of the buffalo nickel different scenes. And in this case, it's a horse. And you can see still where it says 5 cents. And if you know what the original buffalo nickel looks like, you'll know. And look at that. That is even has a D for the Denver mark. I hope it wasn't a valuable date. For the Denver mint mark right there. It's sterling silver. You have Anna King jewelry, her logo, and the stamp. And let me show what it looks like on my hand, because it can be men's or ladies. If you love horses, that's something that certainly, let's try it the other way as well, certainly would be, wow, would stand out well. I can see that amongst equestrian lovers. And wow, if I went to one of their shows, that's an expensive hobby. I'm sure that there'd be someone that would pay quite a bit of money for something so unique and unusual as this, but not today. I have this sale price. Have you seen what silver's done and gold Oh my goodness. I have the price of those for unfortunate reasons, but nevertheless, you can even save additional money because I am giving this ring away basically at less, well less than my cost. $98. Only $98 on that. And it's so cool because it's so obvious that this was actually carved out of the what little metal the carver had to work with to not only, you can see he was working with keeping the 5 cents, so he worked with the depth of the buffalo or the Native American head, which is on one side and the buffalo on the other, and that's all, and was able to get rid of what was there and bring out a horse from the scene. I think that's something I can't do. Let me show you item 702117. Do you have that one? Now, this is another Anna King special. And remember, we were talking about this just earlier. We were talking about the ruby and zoisite, and then, of course, we were talking about what we used to call shermacite, but this is in reality now Pargasite. Pargasite. And some more ruby on the back. I am curious just to see if there is any ability of, this piece is so thick that I'm wondering if light can pass all the way through it. No. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, right at the edge. Okay, there we go. So it passes through the zoisite part. Thank you, sir. But this part through here, but then it gets too thick there. And Pargasite does come in a true complete black and not the dark green. And when it is totally black, then it absorbs all the light and you don't see it. Look at the dragonfly, one of my favorite and amazing creatures, kind of like the chrysalis and the process that a butterfly goes through. Well, dragonfly does the same. Its life is spent, most of its life, in the water. And why they're such revered as special little creatures in Asian cultures is because they come up from unhealthy water and they make this complete change to something that swims to something that flies, and flies in such a delicate and beautiful way, and eats mosquitoes. That's always a good thing, and makes this amazing transformation. And it's very similar to some of the importance that they put on the lotus blossoms and flower, because those come from a muddy type of water environment and then end up to have one of the most beautiful, beautiful blossoms or blooms that you can have. And remember, it is the color of the stamen of the lotus blossom is where they got the color Padparadscha from, for the most valuable color of sapphire that there is. If you didn't know that, you do now. And I am so surprised by the number of gemologists and people in the jewelry industry that sell Padparadschas, but they have no idea of the origin of the word, the color, the meaning, anything. I believe it goes back to an old Sanskrit word. And they're quite fascinated when I tell them that. And I've had them actually look and try to check and verify, and they'll come back and say, wow, you're right. The color is based on the stamen. If you don't know what a stamen is, if you ever look inside, like, say, a hibiscus flower, I only say that because they're one of the most obvious ones. Or here's another one for those of us in the South, the honeysuckle. You know, if you ever pull the bottom off the honeysuckle, and when you pull the little bottom off the honeysuckle flower and pull that all the way through, that what looks like a thread that gives you that drop of honeydew nectar, that is the stamen of the honeydew. That long little, I don't know what else to call it other than a thread, but that's referred to as the stamen. The hibiscus has a long stamen. That's the stamen. So it's the stamen, the color of the stamen of the lotus blossom is where the name Padparadscha is derived from. So remember that. It is a great quiz, or a great, what could I say, party question when you're around a bunch of your rock and mineral friends, just to see who knows what. Anyway, this is a great piece. I love the carving, and the dragonfly is a very spiritual I don't even want to say spiritual creation of nature that is revered and honored by a lot of Asian cultures. Price on this guy, unbelievable. It's less than what I had originally paid, especially now that I'm marking it down even more so. How about this? Only $48. $48. Crazy. Let me show you something. I've only shown it one time. I think all the other pieces have sold. This is a piece, okay, item 1040921. This is my frog to prince ring. I made it and it was given back to me only recently. I made it for my son's mom, and a long time ago, of course, like 30 years ago. And it was to remind her that I'm her prince, that anytime she needs me, just kiss the frog and her prince will come running. Neat idea, neat concept. You can see how the legs wrap around, and the big sapphire eyes, and you can see my, let's see, what ear? There we go. As you know, it's upside down. That my logo I use are my initials with the year that I made the piece in between. This one, SS with 85. 1985. Wow, 1985. I think I'd only been married 2 years or so. And yeah. Beautiful sapphires, beautiful sapphires. If, you know, if someone doesn't take advantage of this piece, I'm still going to offer it as if gold hasn't just gone up a couple $100 an ounce. And so I'm even going to put it on sale compared to what I offered it the other week. I sold the course that wedding set. If you had remember seeing that sold like four, and I kid you not, 4 people wanted that wedding set. And that beautiful, unique freshwater pearl, Tennessee freshwater pearl that had a great story with it, sold. And the frog ring. So I have the frog ring. And it's heavy. It's 6 grams. I am going to offer this. I had offered it at an incredible value. Think about everything that you see out there. And $388 is all I had asked for it, which you just don't get anything for $388. But right now, since it is a sale show, I am going to do exactly that. I am going to make it even less, even against Latif's frowning. I can just feel the vibes over there. I don't even have to look. I can just feel it. Price on this right now, only $348. Make sure that you start that with a 3 there, Latif. $348. It's easily sizable as well. And let me put it on my hand just so you get an idea of the size. Look at that. It can even still fit me at a size 6 1/4. Kind of cool, huh? I thought so when I made it. I really wear a bigger size than that, but at least I can still get that on. All right, $348. Jump at the chance on that one. Okay, let me take a moment here, and I'll be right back. Look at this collection. Let's look at it really quickly. Ah, look at that. Look at that. I see some mangano calcite for one. Manganoan. In other words, calcite with a hint of manganese gives you that little bit of pink color tone. Look at that cool rim. Looks almost like an owl's head. Look at that. Look at of chalcopyrite. So it looks like calcite formed, and then look at that, an entire bed of chalcopyrite covered it, and then additional calcite, look at that, grew over the top of that. This is would be one of those really fun ones to explore. I see already many different forms of calcite in this by way of all the different crystal habits that it comes in. Here is the other cool thing. Fluorescence. Fluorescence, bright orange fluorescence. Let's look at the next one. Look at this piece. Look at this one. Oh, look at that mangano or manganoan. See that pink tint? Calcite in that classic calcite formation. And then with the pyrite, great looking stuff. Ooh, I love that pink shade. And then look at this one. Wow, this is a heavy piece. Must be, oh, yeah, fluorite. Look at the fluorite. Look at the sparkles. And then look at that big crystal of calcite. Let's come in close on this for a moment because this is a very showy piece. Look at that. That almost looks like moonstone. Very showy. See this? I love that. I love the banding that it seems that chalcopyrite comes in and forms. Look at that. Look at those crystals in there. This is, again, one of those that you could just explore for a long time. I love the fluorite. A lot of cool stuff going on. Okay, here's an instant collection. All 3 pieces. They were a really great value at what was $98 for all 3. That's like 32 whatever dollars each. And some of these are very unique, easily worth that and beyond. Here we go. Here we go. This is where, when I say sale priced, it is truly a savings. Because how would you like all 3 of those now? $48. I am taking $50 off. And let me show you. I'll show you. That's exactly where the price was. I just scratched it out and just put the... Oh, I even made a note as stunning. Bright orange fluorescence. Stunning. And then, why did I discount it? I have no idea. Let me show you. Item Now, a smaller one of these, I think, sold the other week. Item 1038421. 1038421. Check it out. This is from the world famous Dreamtime claim in Colorado that is not known nearly as much for its smoky quartz and goethite as it is for the amazonite that is found in association with the other two. And also, wait, we'll get to the also in a minute. Dave zoomed in here, which just distracted me. Okay, let me get my pointer. Down in the recesses of this, you see that? Those darker crystals like that? That's your goethite. Look at that. That's so cool. So cool. That's goethite, natural smoky quartz, goethite down there, and then there's another goodie. See this? See all this? That is specular hematite. When I first saw a piece of something that was called specular hematite, I thought it was like the fake copper stone that they were making, and you saw it in all kinds of jewelry. So I didn't think it was real. Then when I discovered that, yes, there truly is a hematite that looks just like it, except little flakes of hematite making up specular hematite. That's what all this would be and is and would cut. Boy, that looks like a piece of gold right there. Again, look at on this side, all the crystals. Look at, so it is on every side. Look at this amazing specular hematite. Again, this has so many different little areas and bugs to investigate and explore and check out as a rock hound. I mean, this is what takes me forever. Oh, what's the green? That's probably something different, maybe epidote, not sure, but something for you to figure out. Can't leave all the work for me to do, right? Okay, this is a big piece. You can see by my hand. It also self-displays, look at that, in multiple different angles. Wow, look at that. Cabinet quality, cabinet size. And from a well-known, famous deposit. I am marking this guy down. It was $118, and it was a deal at $118. Let's make it one of my favorite auspicious numbers and make it only $88. Only $88 for that large, impressive, natural smoky quartz. And it's smoky quartz that hasn't been heat treated to that dark black material. When you see that dark black smoky quartz, you know it's been irradiated. Run. Run from it. Because don't go messing with that fake stuff, that treated stuff. Just no point in it. Yeah. You know how I feel about it. Now let me see. Oh, here's something fun. This is from an estate. Let me see if I can get these out of here. Wow, maybe I should. How did I ever get these in here? Okay, here we go. We have item number 1007921. Old estate pieces in a perky box. And one with an original label, and look at the label, how old that is. And then let's see. Selenite rose, and does it give? Yeah, Nevada. I would have expected Oklahoma or some of the other common areas that you might find something like that. How about that? A set of two. Let me just make sure you get both. Yep, you get them both. And you know these have to be at least 40 years old. At least found 40 years old. Very difficult to find pieces like that anymore. How about this? Let's make the two only $16. $16. Now, that's a sale. I had a bag of fluorite for only $4. Nobody wanted it. So I'm not even going to waste my time and show that again for $4, huh? I do have something here, though, that's pretty impressive. This, when it came out, was uber expensive and still is. 715-717. Look at this blueberryite. Blueberryite with the limonite that seems to get everywhere sometimes, but it's one of those things. Okay, you can see these reflections down in there. That is additional blueberryite. But okay, look at the limonite. It's actually kind of a crystallized limonite. You see that? It actually has some formation to it. That's kind of neat. That's different. Look at the barites. Look at that. That got even better, didn't it? Wow. Now that's yellow ochre. I mean, if you ever wondered what ochre is, it's basically limonite. It's another iron oxide, and yeah. So these crystals really stand out. When this material first hit the market, a piece like this would have been $300, $400. I was just floored. As a little more time went on, the price came down. I have not priced it in a while. Last I bought a batch of it, which I was able to get it at what I thought was a fair price. And I'm not sure what the market has done since. It could have gone up because things can go both ways, especially if all of a sudden they quit mining it and no more was available and it gets absorbed into the market. And then what do? Here we go. Price on this, an original price was an excellent value at $88 right now. That's a large, impressive piece, $48. When I do a sale, that is an incredible sale. Look at that size of that. Really impressive. And can always be cleaned up some as well. Now let me get to what goodies I can find. Oh, this looks like one. 1024721. 1024721. This is one of those pieces, just like the sphene or the zircons or the triplites, that I said make sure you get one from me in your collection, and you will not go wrong by way of value. Because when I stop offering any more of them, you will faint and fall down when you go see them priced elsewhere, if you even get to see them. Because remember now, it's been years since the discovery, and a lot of the materials moved in the market already. So let's see what we have here. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Wonderful, wonderful crystals of a very rare color of apatite. Bam! Look at how they stand out. And as we come in closer, look at how big they are. Rare pink apatite. look at that. And here's the thing about this particular crystal. There'd be a stone that could be cut out of that. There is a stone in there if you wanted to. If you wanted to. Now, you know, a lot of nice specimens get destroyed in recovering, in removing the crystals to cut them. And there's nothing we can do about that. That's just the way the market is sometimes. Us mineral collectors would rather have the mineral specimen, but the cutters get more money from cutting the piece. So it's always a tough question. Can we go in a little closer on this one right there? There we go. See, I can see, yeah, there we go. I can see right in that piece. And there is a nice stone in there. It would cut easily 1.5 carats to 2 carats, maybe just slightly included. Nevertheless, pink apatite, genuine, untreated. Wow, money stone right there. Look at that. Something else was down in there. But wait, oh, wait. I see something. Hold on. What is that? Is it just some of the yellow? It's not like coming off. Never know. If you ever want to find the pink apatites, even the littlest tiny ones, they fluoresce really strong orange. So just go to the closet, put the UV light on it, and I have found these itty bitty tiny crystals I never would have found. They'll be tucked down in between the mica, and yet there'll be something glowing orange, and then I'll get it out and I say, sure enough, a little crystal's way down in there. But anyway, this is one of those pieces that you can spend some time in front while you're in front of the TV if you want, and just slowly scraping away some of this other, it's called specimen prep. And hours, believe me, on museum specimens are spent doing exactly that. Slowly, with a toothbrush and whatnot, cleaning off this other material, and that's what it takes. But if you got time and you're just sitting there watching a movie, why not? That's how I used to do my pearl stringing. I used to make an extra, and this is in 1980 or so, 1981. I would make about $20 to $25 an hour. That was big money then, while I was watching TV. But it got to where I had to keep my hands too clean. I started doing too much bench work, and so I taught other people to do my pearl stringing. Anyway, this specimen, it's an excellent opportunity. It's one that you need to take advantage of. Even if you were going to take that stone out and see if there was something to cut, because I don't know, one of these pink apatites, I would like to do that. I would like to cut one of them. And this one, I don't know, I'm tempted. So maybe if you, I don't know. Don't get me going. Okay, here we go. Price on it, $77. Only $77. That is, again, an excellent opportunity. Indeed. Now, that one I think I'm going to save. That's one of those Crabtree emeralds that a lot of you seem to be passing up. Item 945220. We're getting, let's see what we have behind us, getting close to the end here. So let me see. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Here's a beautiful golden barrel from Spruce Pine, North Carolina. This is from the Crabtree Emerald Mine. The Crabtree Emerald Mine. And I actually had another specimen from the Crabtree of golden barrels, and I actually sold it. I didn't show it on this show because it was a surprise for someone. So from our rock and mineral community. So all of you actually did not get to see a world-class spruce pine golden barrel mineral specimen that was multiple golden barrel crystals in matrix. It was a remarkable piece, but it was, again, done in secret, so I couldn't show it. I never have shown it. It was someone requesting a special behind-the-scenes piece, and they were thrilled with it and very lucky to get it. And when someone trusts me like that, because a friend was getting it for them as a secret gift, so, you know, they put a lot of trust in me, and they get a lot of value that way, because I want to make sure that I do everything I can to give them that value. This piece, you can see it's been polished. The surface has been polished. It's got a, what we call a natural healed fracture from where something shifted in the pocket, causing a fissure or a fracture in the crystal. But what does Mother Nature do? It goes and fills it in, and with silica or whatever can be available, and that's what's called a healed fracture. Now, for the fact that this has, you know, the purists, of course, will ding it for it being polished. Others will like the fact that it's polished. But either way you look at it, it's going to be a really good value if you want a Crabtree specimen and a wonderful, unique golden barrel from the United States. Difficult to find. Price on this one, only $68. And that's as low as I'm going to go on that, because after that, I may consider actually doing some thin slices with it, and I think that'd be a great idea to do it with it. Okay, last item of the show coming up, and then it is time for trivia. Let's see what we have. That, all kinds. Okay, yep. It's never a show unless we have a zeolite in it, right? 104 1121. 104 1121. Check it out. Here it is. Look at this zeolite. And I sawed the bottom off myself so that it would stand self-display. And then look at this. Look at these large, beautiful stilbites. Excellent formation. You have beautiful apopholites and just a really nice all the way around specimen. Oh, so here's heulandite, by the way. Heulandite often forming the base of these pieces. Oh yeah, then remember on the back you have celadonite. Look at the little pockets of celadonite, and then garnardite. Two other zeolites. Really interesting all the way around. What? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeolites just in this one piece. How cool is that? Big time sale. Remember, I got these in a sea freight shipment, saving all kinds of money. So let's see. I've got my notes here on that. Yeah. Oh, there's scolasite. Oh, there's scolasite on this too. So wait, I just get, okay, so I have, here it is, scolasite. Okay, stilbite, apopholite, scolasite, selenodite, and garnardite. That's a lot of zeolites. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. And let me see if we can, I should make you find, let's go in close for 1 second so I can maybe find, oh, here it is right there, I think. I think I already found, I'll find one for you, and then you can find the others. Where did I, hold on. Where did I just, oh, right. Oh yeah, that's what it's called, right here. Look at this, here it is. I don't want to hit it, right above. It's a miniature bridge. There it is, right there. Oh yes, that's right. This had that incredible crystal. That's it, look at that. In the middle of the Scolasite. Hold on, let me put that down. That's an incredible. Look at that. I had even taken a close-up picture and I had shown that to Kevin. We could not believe it. That is a phenomenal, unique piece. Look at that. It has an apophyllite and connected by Scolasite from either side of it. That's an amazing, unique discovery. Look at that. And wow, that you want to take a lot of pictures of and have it next to the specimen. Oh, look it down here. Let me see. One other thing. Let me find. Where am I? I just saw. Well, I'll leave it. Yep, here it is. Right. Oh, that's the one we were looking at. Sure enough. There may be some other discoveries. I'm going to leave them to you to find. That one alone is well worth it. Ah, hold on. This is what's so fun about rocks and minerals. Right underneath there. Right underneath there. Look at that. I found another one. Now that's classic Scolasite. Right there. There's a couple more. Okay. Beautiful mint green apophylites in there as well. Love that stuff. Okay, this one, there's so much good going on there to discount this at all. Everybody's already told me how inexpensive my Scolasites are, but and my zeolites. But a sale is a sale, which is going to make this specimen only $58 now. $58. That's the last item of the show. We'll be right back with the trivia. All right. If you're ready, I'm ready. The trivia question. Hope you all have enjoyed the show as much as I do. Truly, I do. I hope you can just feel that energy and excitement coming here when I get to share all this knowledge up here before I lose it all, right? Okay, trivia questions. Based on, not always on something said, done, or related to the show, but most of the time. 2 questions. And then you send in Shawn at gemshopping.com. Write in those answers, and you see the fun, good stuff that you can win. Some people, I was looking, win 4-5 times a year. So, yeah, or more. All right, ready, set. Question number 1. What is the state mineral of Georgia? I know it might seem a little fair to those of you that don't live here, but that's all I'm going to say. Something, yeah, no hints. Okay, next question. What is the Greek word for cross? Now, those of you that going back to your Latin and whatnot may be able to put it all together if you don't have any other ideas in mind of what it could be. Good luck to all of you. I am going to do some a little bit more sale items next week. If you guys have been buying them, I know I had talked to Andy this week and he was busy filling orders for Kevin, who was out for a day. So it told me that he took advantage of some of those items from last week. I would highly suggest you take advantage again. As long as I'm doing these sale pricing opportunities, take advantage of them, because they're either going to go back to my collection because I can only go so low on them, or you're going to buy them. And yeah, I highly recommend at the kind of pricing that you buy them. So thank you so much for your support and your continued support and for your love and prayers. Believe me, I can feel it. And let's just say this. I think it is all working. And I look forward to this year as being a much better year than last. God bless all of you and continue to stay safe, hug and love one another, and just be glad that you live in this great country of ours. I will be here next Monday. We're going to keep going week after week and break our record and get to where we don't miss any shows like I did for so long. See you Monday.